Welcome to India Today. This is Maruthi Acharya.
And I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
And we just completed watching the latest Kannada film Su from So. I think I got it right.
Su from So.
Very catchy it is. So
It is catchy, and I think the trick, that is the hook of the title as well. The film has been written and directed by JP Thuminad, a debutant. You probably might have seen him in Sapta Sagaradache Yellow as
Correct.
well. The film is presented by and produced by Raj B Shetty under his banner, Lighter Buddha Films. What's your one-liner?
a beautiful world, 2 hours of light-hearted, not so emotional, beautiful moments. And trust me, when was the last time I had this innocent and beautiful smile and laugh out loud moments also in a theater? I think it's been a very long time. Amazing experience, trust me.
Yes, my one-liner would be very funny throughout the film. It's not just, you're laughing out loud once or twice in the film. Throughout the film, there are these jokes. It's just hilarious. But is that it? Not at all.
Correct.
Because it has so much more. There is a good message to carry out as well, which is not, stuffed in your face, but very nicely fed to you.
Firstly, I'll start with what worked for me in the film. Innocence and Sulochana. Because again, these two are totally different elements. First, I'll talk about innocence. Of late, I am really craving for movies where it is not too intense drama, plot, violence, gore, intense emotions. It's just showing down my throat. I either cry, I either feel emotionally devastated. Not just restricted to Kannada, every industry, just going to theater. I like that genre, but I think it is getting a little too much. So I wanted a very nice, light movie, and trust me, it is difficult. Somebody who actually enjoyed the process of writing also from that side, I can tell you, writing characters, building a world which is innocent. That fine, thin line between stupid and innocence is something which is really tricky. And this movie gets it on point, not just on point, they aced it. Every character, their character traits. I think by the end of it, it's been a really long time also where I actually remember every character gets a moment to shine. All of it put together in just 2 hours in a beautiful way is something that is a rarity. So that is one thing that I really liked. And the Sulochana part of it. I really liked how they have built, because a lot of times it is so easy to get diverted, distracted, diluted, or not able to carry the emotion with which they start the film. But here I think the way they have taken it, and again, if not executed well, the pre-climax and climax might go anywhere. But in this film, that didn't happen. That's why I think the Sulochana angle really worked for me.
It's been a while since we walked out of the theater like this.
Yeah.
I think the last experience like this for me was Hostel Hudugaru Bekagidare. Even in any other language, I don't remember laughing out so much after Hostel Hudugaru.
And it's a sad state of affairs that laughing so much in a theater has become a rarity.
Yeah. So, and what is good about this is that it's not just your, slapstick comedy and people acting caricaturish, clown, none of that. It's just simple rural life shown right there. While covering the trailer, I used to say this is a supernatural comedy film.
Correct.
This is a supernatural comedy film. Why is it so super? It is because the conversations, all of it is built, which is very close to what naturally people speak over there. What the quick comebacks are. What is that quirky thing about everybody? One quirky characteristic who is made into a character there. All of that is extremely relatable, and that kind of works excellently for the film. Along with that is the performances of everybody involved in the film. Plus one special bonus, which I won't name drop. When you watch the film, you will love it. So all the characters are people we've seen in so many of the Shetty films, right? And either Raj B Shetty's films or Rishabh Shetty or Rakshit Shetty's films. We've seen all of them, but somehow their name hasn't come out as the forefront. I think this is the film where that is going to happen, because everybody else, there is no star in the film. So I think these characters are going to become stars, starting from Ravi played by Shaneel Gautham, Prakash Thuminadu, Deepak Panaje, and there are so many characters, and even Bhanu, Sandhya Arakere, such a beautiful performance.
Agreed.
While we were just vibing on the whole comedy and hilarious run we had with all the characters,
Correct.
to bring such a kind of a depth to the whole story. It was not just a single layered film.
Yeah.
It was not just going on this one line of what happens that night or what happened after this thing happened.
Yeah.
It just took a deep dive and it explored so many themes, but still it wasn't rubbing it in your face. It was still fun to watch. It was still nice to watch.
Yeah.
I was expecting a comedy, a brilliant comedy film.
Correct.
I was getting all the jokes, but I was still thinking at the start, is that it? Is this it? Because it is a very simple story. Is this it?
Correct.
But when it actually hit the mark, I was like, yes, baby, this is what we want.
Also, world building in terms of technicalities, again, not a lot of people put so much effort. A lot of times in these kind of big world, there are a lot of characters, right? There are if there's a scene happening, for example, where a character is saying something or there is something happening with that character, and there are those instant cut reactions to the people around or involved. Here, what happens is that they have made a very unique choice. I think not a lot of people, at least I have seen, they cut to a wide where they show a bigger reaction than individual reactions in lot of patients that I have consistently noticed in the film. If there is a character doing something, there is a wide shot. Very fewly they take it to personal emotion unless it is necessary. Again, this is not something that just happened coincidentally. It is a very conscious choice, which really works in giving that everybody stakes involved kind of feeling with the film, which really works.
Another big plus for the film is its technical department. Like you said, camera work, all the technicians have done a really good job. The music especially was extremely well done for the film. Based on the kind of emotion the film was going through, based on the kind of comedy or what sort of scene is going, the music kept adapting to it and it gave that feel of, okay, either rush or suspense or intensity. Whatever is happening, the music was catering to it brilliantly. Correct. Which kind of ended up, enhancing the whole experience, 2, 3, 4, 5 folds, and the music in the film as well. I love Dance Anthem. Yeah. I've Dance Anthem on the Philo, and that was there. And along with that, there were a couple of other songs too, to which we were slowly tapping our feet to, we were vibing with. So the music album of this film is also something that people should check out.
With music, what I really enjoyed is a lot of comedy movies, right? At this point, I'm really saturated where they force the laugh into you with music. Some sound effect which will randomly pop into the scene, and if you don't understand this is a comedy scene, yes, this is a comedy scene. Come on, chuckle, laugh. Yeah, those kind of sound effects, I think we are in 2025 and technically we can do a lot better in this movie. Again, if you didn't watch it and if you're watching after the review, just notice how suddenly it is the character and the joke that is being cracked and the situation and the dialogue, not the music. There are a lot of comedy portions that I noticed that I'm laughing to a scene where there's no background music at all. It's absolutely silent. So that also shows how clear they were with their vision and how they wanted to execute it.
And the move to make sure that the joke is communicated. There's no noise in the background.
Exactly.
There is no need for overreaction. The joke is communicated, the reaction is communicated. Simple. And that kind of is brilliant. If you're talking about the drawbacks in the film, like I mentioned, when I started, it felt like, okay, is this going to be it? And that kind of drags on for quite a while. There were moments in the film where I felt like, okay, we are going from one, scene of comedy to another scene of comedy to another scene of comedy. And there were moments where it was just scene after scene rather than the story moving forward. When it comes to a whole picture later on, it kind of makes sense. But even if you still think about it, for me personally, I feel like, okay, but still it seems like it is scene after scene. Okay, these characters were here, what happened here? These characters were here, what happened here? After the main instigation happened in the film, there were several scenes, but not really something that added to the bigger story.
Yeah.
So those parts, I kind of felt like, okay, maybe some other treatment could have added, probably integrated it to the story more. Not a big complaint actually, because we were laughing through the scene. So end of the day, that is that. But when you look at it as a story separately, these things kind of felt like it was treated separately and was, used to build the story rather than being the story.
Like he mentioned about the duration and how it stretches after a point, right? It felt like those summer holidays which feels a little long. Again, if you go and ask that child, do you want to go back to school? Obviously, he'll say, no, I'm having fun with summer holidays. But again, some of the portions of that summer holidays where it feels a little stretched. Again, it's nice. It's not doing anything, but it's not adding anything also. So there's this one question in the back of your head. Okay, this is nice, but where is this going? Is it going anywhere? Am I watching a similar scene again? So scene working is different from how many times are we seeing similar kind of scenes is different. So I had that problem again. It got rectified when the movie switched its gear and went to the main conflict, main point in the pre-climax and climax. The whole third act is beautifully done. I feel the first act, again, that is also set up. Second act could have been a little crisper.
I feel like if you really loved Ondu Motteya Kate, if you loved Hostel Hudugaru Bekagittare, and all these little Sarkari Hiriya Prathamika Shale Kasargodu, all these films, it remains in our minds because all of us together made sure to make these films a success. I personally vouch for So From So. This also deserves to be in that same platform like all of the films that I've mentioned here. So, if I forgot any other films' names, mention that in the comments below. If you watch the film, mention that in the comments below. On a side note, there is another film's trailer, another Kannada film's trailer, which is called, the film's name is Banduk. The trailer seemed really interesting.
Yes.
If you haven't really checked it out, check that trailer out as well.
Yeah, we will try to watch the film whenever it is possible. Again, we are occupied with a lot of things, but we will definitely give it a shot. But if it is available at your nearest theaters, if you like the trailer, go give it a shot.
With that, I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
This is Maruthi Acharya.
You're watching India Today.